I'd like to recommend for you today 1984 by George Orwell. It seems like I'm going dark in recommending a dystopian fiction at a time like this. However, I always like to look at the bright side of life and read something knowing that life can always be much, much worse. 1984 is not only a dystopian fiction, it's also a classic for the ages. It takes you through the life of Winston Smith. He lives in a world where privacy doesn't exist and unsanctioned thoughts and ideas are considered a crime. Winston's normal is in the style of Big Brother, where the government is always watching and the thought police are keeping you safe from all those who may threaten civilization with ideas of their own. For the most part, this is all well and good for Winston, until he becomes that person that the government is looking to protect him from, when, of all things, he falls in love. Can you imagine a world where falling in love is a criminal offense? Where your love needs to be hidden from everyone and everything you've ever known? Big Brother watches the streets, your workplace, and even your home. I mean, where would you turn? 1984 is a fabulous representation from one of the greatest writers of the mid-20th century that was not only a prediction of what things could be after 35 years of technological development and government manipulation, but also still heeds as a warning today in a world where social media is the norm and privacy has essentially been willingly thrown out the window. 1984 was Orwell's last novel before his death a year later in 1950, and his swan song of sorts, a warning against totalitarianism and one-party states like present-day North Korea. I recommend this book for people like me who are looking for the light in a dark world. I didn't have the privilege to read and analyze this book in school growing up, but even if you were, I recommend rereading this gem with a more willing and constructive lens. There's so much more to this book when you read it in adulthood than you can get out of it when you were forced to read it in school, for example. The subtext is phenomenal, and there are a lot of supplemental readings online that you can read after reading the book that will make it seem like the book doesn't even necessarily have to end after the last chapter. 1984 is available at OPL in ebook and audiobook format on Cloud Library.